is time for the Writer's Block. It's our Thanksgiving edition. We'll talk about Thanksgiving, but I'm Jenni Carlson here in the studios of the Oklahoman, joined by Cedric Golden. Not in the studios of the Austin American-Statesman, but in Austin. How are you, friend?
I'm great. I'm actually in Pflugerville because I can't afford to live in Austin, Jen.
Very well. In the Pflugerville Bureau, coming to us to talk some football. Cedric, let's start with this. This is a question only you can answer. What is the bigger point of woe for people in your state? Is it Texas football or is it Dallas Cowboys football?
Oh, it's Texas football. In my part of the state, Texas football, because they just can't seem to get going this year after Sam Ehlinger exclaimed to a national television audience, "We're back." Now it's more like, we're not. They're not back. They're 6-5.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, 6-5 and back aren't the same thing. They don't go hand in hand, Jen. So no. I'm one of those people that thinks that the Cowboys are going to be fine because the Eagles are god-awful. And so if the Cowboys win the division, they're going to be okay. They'll win the division. They'll lose a playoff game. They'll fire Jason Garrett. They'll hire Lincoln Riley. And then they'll be on their way to Super Bowl contention. And it's a lot more complicated in Austin, where Tom Herman probably going to make some coaching staff changes. And he's got to guard against losing that locker room. Yeah. It's a lot different when you got 18 to 22-year-olds as opposed to millionaires playing to keep food on the table.
Yeah, for sure. You know, but it was a crazy weekend involving the two premier teams in the state of Texas. First, you've got Tom Herman headbutting players wearing helmets before the game. Then your buddy, my buddy, Brian Davis, who covers Texas football for you guys there at the Statesman, reporting after the game that Tom Herman seemed broken after that game. So you have that on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the Cowboys go up to Foxborough, a tough place to win, but yet after that loss, to hear Jerry Jones talking about how disappointed he was, and really, I mean, Cedric, what you said about Jason Garrett, it seemed to me like, I mean, he was maybe being very honest, Jerry Jones, but he seemed to be laying the groundwork for a coaching change. It seemed that way to me on Sunday.
Absolutely, and they both said, Jerry and Tom Herman both said the same thing over the weekend: the buck stops with me. Which means that changes are coming. I think Jason Garrett is on a short leash. I think he's on the way out. And I think that Tom Herman's going to make some coaching changes. Not wholesale, but there's going to be a couple of coaches looking for work, because you don't go from 10-4 and beating Georgia in the Sugar Bowl to getting punked by TCU, a bad TCU team, I might add, and then going 6-5. That doesn't cut the mustard. We all picked Texas and OU to be playing twice this year. It's going to be the Waco City Grizzlies going up against the Oklahoma Sooners, much to our surprise, Jen.
No, exactly. You're exactly right. Baylor being in that Big 12 championship game, beginning of the year, nobody would have thought that Baylor would be there. But the truth is about Texas, Cedric, and you might not hear this from a lot of Sooners or even Cowboys in the state of Oklahoma, but these college football rankings tell us the Big 12 needs Texas to be better. I know Texas wants to be better for Texas, but the truth is the Big 12 is fighting a perception battle. It needs to have a Texas playing at a high level, and maybe you're right. Maybe coaching changes within that staff are the answer to fixing that. But, you know, as much as people around the Big 12 like to, you know, gig Texas people about not being back, about all of that being, you know, a little early, Texas needs to be better for the Big 12. That's the bottom line. If the Big 12 wants to crawl out of a bad perception hole, Texas needs to be better.